Without the marshlands, we have no tourism. I mean, they come out here to see swamps, see alligators, see stuff like that. They're not coming out here just to ride on a boat and see plain open water. And if they don't do something soon about it, that's what we're gonna have.
Coastal erosion is important for protection. Another thing to continue to protect the estuary where our fishermen can make a living.
This area is very crucial with the livelihood of fishing, shrimping, even just the recreation that comes from bird watching and being able to see nature in the way that it was original whenever we all first moved here hundreds of years ago.
We have the largest estuary in the United States. We produce more shellfish than any place else in the United States. People come in from all over the world to come into New Orleans. They coming in to eat Gulf seafood. You know, you can go anywhere and eat Vietnamese shrimp or Ecuador shrimp. But when you come to New Orleans, you believe that you're eating Gulf seafood. So if you lose that estuary in the commercial fishermen, you lose that selling tool.
I was born and raised here in Lafitte. Grew up here all my life. You go out to Barataria Bay, there's nothing left to the channel. I mean, it's pretty much just eroding to nothing.
Years ago, they had other communities like this, like Clark Shadia, Manila Village, just a number of communities out further south. And those communities were lost. And then you know, that's why we want to work so hard. We don't want Lafitte, Barataria, Crown Point to be the next three. And then, you know, you'd have water pounding on the doggone levees of the West Bank in New Orleans.
And a lot of times we forget that the city of New Orleans or Metairie is a coastal community because we're protected with these levees, and it seems like an urban area that we really are near the coast, and we are all ground zero for the hurricanes and the tropical storms that come through our coast.
You know, Lafitte was here prior to the forming of our country. This is the back door to New Orleans. You know, the pirates used it many years ago to enter the city from the rear. It still is the back door to the city of New Orleans and to our community, and we need to learn how to access it and protect it for the future.
I mean, it's sad. My kid will never get to see what I saw. That's the heritage that we had that they'll never get to see.
My fight is for existence. I mean, we're fighting to live.
And so being able to create this pipeline that brings in sediment that would have originally come in on its own over hundreds of years and build back in a natural way is a really innovative way to create land and create protection. The Mississippi River is the ground zero for restoring the marshlands of South Louisiana.
Phase one of the sediment pipeline is incredible, okay? It goes from the Mississippi River to the Barataria waterway. We're pumping it from a sand pit right from the Mississippi River right to where it has to go today.
The first half of the sediment pipeline was started in January of 2015 and has created miles of land that is now growing back marsh already. So in less than a year, we're seeing marsh and green grass in areas that was open water.
We're rebuilding marsh in a berm that is a football field wide by 14 miles long. And every mile that is built today protects us today from tidal surge as well as hurricane winds.
So one of the first visits that we made to the land bridge site, many of the elected officials from the area visited the site, and it was one of those experiences that's very similar to walking on the moon. We
went out there with the CPRA, the parish officials, Plaquemines parish officials, and planted the flag. You know, we were reclaiming not only marshland and this berm for the state of Louisiana and Jefferson Parish, we were reclaiming this land for America.
It's amazing. It's amazing. It's amazing because you're fighting all these battles, man, and you look at that and you know that that is going to slow the water down a whole lot. That's going to protect a whole lot of wetlands.
You're experiencing new land being built in an area that in a lot of ways you feel like certain people have given up on this area and said we can never build back the coast of Louisiana.
You see the impact today, and that's what's most important.
You've got sand and sediment built up about 5 feet above the surface of the water, and we were able to walk on it. There were tractors there, so it's a really strong surface.
What you're currently looking at is marshland that was rebuilt. This was not here prior, and this project is building it right before your very eyes. We've had more greenery and more green growth than we've had in years. Part of this is slowing down the saltwater intrusion that is coming into the area.
You know, one day we may be trapping fur again. The shellfish will be very plentiful in this area, and people will make livings, and that'll help the economy around all around the state.
And in some of this video, you'll be looking at marsh that was already destroyed over the years by saltwater intrusion, by erosion, by hurricanes. And you can see the difference of what is being built today compared to how it was before.
So we're not just spending excess money on dirt from somewhere else, we're using what's coming through our own waters. And so being able to connect the Mississippi and the marsh kind of in this way that they were originally connected is not just innovative, but exciting.
You know, it's just a start, but it's a start in the right direction. We have a lot more to do, but at least something's being done, and you feel like, you know, there's some type of future.
We're starting to see a lot more wildlife, a lot more ducks, starting a lot more waterfowl, a few pigs and stuff are showing up already on the sand. I mean, soon you're gonna start seeing deers and stuff as soon as the vegetation starts to grow.
Well, it's important that people realize that this can be done, okay? Naturally, you need funding to make it possible. It's not an inexpensive project.
So the pipeline actually is built in increments, and as the pipeline is being built, sediment comes out of it. So currently the pipeline is over 14 miles long, and it has booster pumps that help. And if we're able to get funding soon, we'll be able to continue the pipeline on for the remaining 10 to 15 miles that we need to see the complete benefit.
It's important that they continue with the pipeline project. I love to see the land back the way it was. Channels through it, places to go, places to bring your family out there, camp, do things like that.
With the current predictions for sea level rise, there's definitely a bleak future for South Louisiana over the next 50 to 100 years.
We need to start putting our money where our mouth is. We keep saying we want to protect our communities. We keep saying we want to protect homes. We keep saying we want to protect our people, which are most importantly. Then we need to do this to protect our community.
I'm very fortunate that we are reshaping this world by adding more land like we're doing around Bayou DuPont that will be from one end of this coast to the next. And it may change the landscape that will benefit our kids for generations and generations to come.
This is the crown jewel of the state. We just need to make sure we protect it so it's here for the future. This is America's wetlands, and America's watching what we do here.